Hey gardeners, welcome to my channel. In this video I want to take you along and share with you my thought process when I am selecting plants that I will be keeping seeds from so I can grow more lizianthus next year. I am inside of my vegetable garden where I'm growing a row of lizianthus that I started from seeds, and these have been blooming for about 4 weeks now, still going very strong. They have a lot of buds that are blooming. Some flowers are starting to fade, and they still have new buds that have not opened yet. So there's going to be a couple of more weeks of blooms on this beautiful collection of lizianthus. So one thing that I will be looking for is the length of the stem and how strong the plant is. And in this respect, I am not going to have an issue selecting candidates, because most of the plants that I'm growing here are very strong and very tall. They're at least 3 feet tall. Most of them are about 4 feet tall. And as you can see, they're so tall that they're leaning over. They're just piled on top of each other because I didn't really expect them to be that tall, and it didn't provide a very good support. That's something on my list to do and to fix next year, to provide netting. The way lizianthus blooms, it starts on it puts a very short first bloom, followed by buds that are sitting above the very first bloom. So when the first bloom starts to fade, you can take it off, you can deadhead it. In this case, I'm keeping it because I want to collect for seeds later. But you can deadhead that, and then you can allow the higher blooms or buds to open. And this is how it actually acts in the vase. It has a very long vase life if you're growing that to take inside the house and make bouquets. Another thing that I will be looking for is the shape of the flower. If you can see from the video, I collected seed from the lizianthus I grew last year, and I got all these different shapes of flowers. So some of them have lighter color, some of them have darker color, some of them are, very few of them have are bicolor, or with the main pink color and some spotting of a darker pink color, which is actually very pretty. But the other thing that I'm going to be looking for is the number of petals that each flower has. And again, here I have different types of flower. Some of them have double petals that look like roses. Some of them have single number of petals. They look more like a bellflower. Still very pretty, but for me, my favorite type is the one that has more fuller appearance and look like roses. So these are definitely the ones that I will be saving seeds from. Another thing that I will be looking for is the color, right? Some of them, as I mentioned, are lighter. Some of them, like this one, it's a very light pink that has cream in it. Some of them, like this one, look at the bud, has chartreuse. This chartreuse, green chartreuse color, and also which is actually appearing in the middle of the more mature color. So this is definitely an interesting color combination. I will be saving seeds from this guy, and here's an example of the single number of petals. These look like bells, and also you can see the bicoloring. There's like a darker spots on the trim of the petals. These are pretty. I will not be saving seeds from them. although I gotta say they're pretty and they look very good in a bouquet, and it's actually easier for them to open the younger buds in a bouquet. Another thing that I want to be looking for when I'm going to be saving seeds is I'm going to be paying attention to the growth habit of the plant. So most of the plants that I grew this year, have about 150 plants. They started with a single stem, which maybe a foot off the ground split into 2 stems, and that produced the main flower stalk. So you can see the stem going from the base, getting to a point where it splits, it forms that V-shaped stem, and it then gives you this, maybe there's like 5 or 6 buds, and this is the main flowers, and most of them bloomed like that. And they gave me some smaller side shoots that were totally undeveloped. However, a couple of them that I have found not only produce the main flower stem, but they also produced a side shoot that was developing at the same time as the main shoot. And you can see here, that's a side shoot that is not developed. And the theory is, if I cut that right above it, if I cut the main stem right above it, that should encourage that side shoot to grow and become a full production stem. However, in my relatively short growing season, I mean, it's September now, there's absolutely not going to be time for this little side shoot to develop. Now you can see again here, that was the main stem. It has like maybe at least 6 blooms, 6 or 7 blooms. Then one bud down, you can see a second side stem that grew into a full production stem. It has like 3 or 4 developed flower heads. So this is, I'm excited about that, because that little guy on the other side, it will not have time to develop. So I'm definitely saving seeds from this couple of plants. I only got a couple of plants, and I'm hoping that these traits will hopefully transfer over the new plants that I will be growing next year. And I want to show you another example. So the 2 examples that we just looked at had 1 additional stem in addition to the first flower stem, and I just discovered another plant, only 1 actually, that I have, that has even more side shoots that are developed as much as the main flower stem. So I'm looking for it, I'm trying to find it. Here it is. You can see how many blooms this particular plant has. So here's the main stalk, right, the main stem. It grew up to this point where it split into a V, and that produced the main 2 flower stems that have like maybe 6 or 7 flower heads. Then if we look down, there's 2 stems on each side, and they each became a full production stem. And then there was 1 more a little bit further down. So this is 1 that's not developed, but there's like 2 more further down that became full production stems. So altogether there's 3 extra stems that became full production stems with blooming flowers at the same time as the flowers on the main stem. And to me, this is very exciting, because it will give me a lot more color for a shorter time. So basically this is it. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully this will encourage someone to grow lizianthus maybe next year. Thank you. Bye.